Good morning, one and all. I am Professor Abia Hanfi, Assistant Professor, SIRT, CSE Department. Today, I am going to teach about Internet and Web Technology. This subject comes in fifth semester. Its subject code is 504, and here we are going to see second unit. Its first topic is HTML. So basically, we start with HTML. Here we are going to see about overview in which we are going to learn the introduction of HTML. Then we see formatting and fonts in HTML. Then we are going to see about comment code. Then how to add colors and hyperlinks and what are the type of colors, range. These all are covered in this lecture. So first start with HTML introduction. So what is HTML? So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is most basic building block of web. Here we going to define meanings, structure of web content, and other web technology besides HTML. This language is generally used for making web pages, presentations, appearance. So this is about HTML. Here in HTML we use markup. So markup is like some images and text contain which is we are going to display in web browser. So in these images and tags, we use it as a tag. So these images, styling, we are going to code it as a tag, or these tags are coded as head, title, body, header. This is in between. These elements are written in open and closed bracket with the tag. These are the sign of greater than or equal to sign. So these all tags are noted written as starting with greater than sign. Then we are going to write what element we want to add, like head, title, body, footer, header, audio, video. These all are have we have to write. Then we are just going to close that particular tag or bracket, and we are further going to use these particular elements. So these all elements which are inserted as double quotes, or we can say that a starting sign and closing brackets, the closing sign which are greater than or equal to sign is called markup. So that's how this language is called HTML markup language. Now here we are going to see second part. In second part, HTML formatting element. So HTML is also defined a special kind of element, or here we are going to define every element especially with a special meaning. Like we are going to use small b, small I for formatting, and for italic or bold or body, we are going to format the body. So we are going to use different kind of tag. Here small b is used for bold text, strong is used for important text, I is used for italic text, EM is used for emphasized text, mark is used for mark text, small is used for small text, del for deletion, ins for inserted, sub for subscripted, sup for superscripted. And how we are going to use these tags? Here we have the example of that particular tag. Here I have mentioned the example P, which is uh, enclosed with open and closed bracket. So this is we are going to use as line. Then superscript. Here we are going to superscripted the text, and that superscript tag, and then we are finally close with P. So here we use backslash for closing. This is how we are going to format any element or any line. Now we are going to use HTML font tag. HTML font tag is a tag which we are going to use in font. So here is some example like font size. When we are going to use font tag, we have to mention font size, font face, and font color. Simply, we can use 3, 2, 4, 5, whatever font size you are using. Font or color here we are using red, green, blue, whatever you want, and we are simply type some text, then their font face. Suppose we are going to use font face for Vardhana, so we have to write that and close with that font uh, tag. Now next we are going to see about comment code. Here this element is used for comments. So HTML also supports comments. Here HTML comments begin with semicolon, or we can say that apostrophe s, then add our comment, and then we are going to close that tag. Here HTML comments are visible for any web pages source code, but it's not visible for our browser. Means front end, in front end you cannot see that particular comment, but when you are going to see your source code, in that particular code you can see your comments, which are very useful for further coding or giving the idea about that particular web page codes. Next, HTML comments. So, what is comments and why we are going to use it? So, comment is simply they are not visible in the website. They are used to help you or other developer to understand your code. As I say already, comments serving various purpose such as explaining the strings, codes, debugging a program like this. The comments can be multi-line HTML comments for explaining huge logic, large source code. Then comments are interpreted only by the EI browsers. Some browser allows comment tags, some browsers does not allow comment tags. A smart HTML comment is one that add value and the meaning to the source. And here we use apostrophe s, and your when we are going to insert the comment, open bracket using apostrophe s, then insert our comment and close that particular bracket. Next, HTML comment tag. HTML comment tag simply noted by q. It's like quotes. When we are going to use, we have seen different kind of codes, so these are simply that codes. So all in this HTML comments is regular single line comment. It is quite similar to the codes which is denoted by Q. You can use single line comment to deactivate a line of code while debugging. Just insert HTML comment opening and closing tags around the part of the code you want to deactivate. That's it. Now here we can you also use multi-line HTML comments. So we can write multiple comment line with in single quotes. HTML block of comments or HTML multi-line comments allow you to comment complex or long piece of code. It works as a regular HTML tag, but it can take several lines to explain the bigger part of the code in a single command line. But it, it is not possible to explain long code logic in a single line comment. So we are going to use multiple line of comments. Here we use multi-line HTML tags. Comment line 1, comment line 2, comment line 3. Next, HTML multi-line HTML comments simply work as block code element, which is used for quoting a bigger piece of text. Multi-line comment is HTML. In HTML is also disabled a block of code. All you have to do just include opening and closing tags around the code which you want to deactive, yeah, or deactivate it. Next example for your multi-line comments. So here we start division. So we start div opening of comment or block of comment example. So we start with p. Now we use because we are going to hide that comment. So we use apostrophes, a block of comment. Then we just close that particular div. This is how we are going to use multi-line comment block. Now we are going to see about colors. So here HTML supports different range of colors, RGB, hex, SL, RGBA, SLA values. So colors values are basically define your headings at H1, H2. So we are going to simply just define H1 heading 1 style, that's background color and font size and its particular color. So this is some examples. Now RGB value, this is basically your red, green and blue. RGB stands for red, green, and blue. This color value range start from 0 and go on for 225. So here we are going to set, if you want to high density of red, then you are going to use number 255. Then dark green, so also it is, then also you have to use 255. And blue also you want dark, then also you can use 255. Now it's start with 000 and go to the 255, 255, 255. Here you can use variation 0 to 55, 000. Next you can use 0 to 50, 255, 0 and some other numbers like 99, 71. So you can use these values also according to your intensity, or which number of intensity or boldness you want to the color, that in that particular manner you can use values. Next is your hex values, which is hexadecimal values. This is used from RRGGBB format. Here RR stands for red, GG stands for green, BB stands for blue. 0 to FF, this hexadecimal values range varies between 0 to FF, same as 0 to 255. Here you are going to use like if you want to use 0, so you will start with double zero. Then 255 here coded with FF. So this is called hex value or hexadecimal value. Next is HSL values. HTML in HTML also supports SL values, hue, saturation, and lightness values. It's HSL start for hue, saturation, lightness. So here degree of color wheel from 0 to 360. 0 is red, 120 is green, and 240 is blue. Saturation percent means 0% means shaded, a shade of gray. 100% is full color. Lightning is 0% is black. 50% is neither light nor dark, and 100% is white. And HTML also support RGBA value, which is RGB color format, but red, green, blue, and alpha. Stands for alpha here. Its range is also same as RGB range, but we are going to use here additional word is alpha. This is define the capacity of for a color. Now next is HSLA value, which is the extension of SLA value here, hue, saturation, lightness, and alpha. Same as it is RGBA. Here also intensity is defined, and the capacity, opacity of a color is defined. Next is hyperlinks. So when we are going to use hyperlinks, how to insert hyperlinks? So here we are going to insert different kind of hyperlinks in HTML. Hyperlink simply defined as the tag A. So you have to start hyperlinks with a starting tag and A. Then you have to define hyperlinks. So you have to write href then your URL, then link the text and close that particular tag body, which is close a backslash a. So hyperlinks is simply when you are going to insert different sites or different sites content which in your web page. So these are the hyperlinks. Hyperlinks is simply example of different websites where from those websites you're going to use content or some stuff. So simply in your different web pages you can see these hyperlinks. While clicking on that particular links, you just redirect it to different pages or web pages. Now local links is uh, linked to the same website. Is simply local link is specified with a relative URL. Here is I have mentioned the example of a local link. So it start with a style, a link, color, background color, then that's transparency. This is the manner how we can use local links. Local links is your same website link in which you are going to work or you are working. So this is simply the concept of local links. So this is the end of my first IWT lecture. Stay tuned, and in next lecture we are going to see further more information about HTML. Thank you. Good day.